So once you are very clear yourself about why you are wanting to do something, and then you are able to share it effectively with your audience, you are sorted for success for sure. So business is always about purpose. So profit धंधे में चाहिए होता है, profit entrepreneurship में भी होना चाहिए.
May I please introduce our next speaker on the stage. Her name is Sonal. Miss Sonal, she's the CEO of Whitecub Vegan Foods. It's an honor to have you, Miss Sonal, and we look forward to hearing your valuable insights.
Yeah, so I'm here to speak on vegan entrepreneurship. So in this short presentation, we will cover some of the essentials of entrepreneurship per se, which remain the same for vegan entrepreneurship as well. The very first and critically important aspect before you really begin is to sort out your why. So once you are very clear yourself about why you are wanting to do something, and then you are able to share it effectively with your audience, you are sorted for success for sure. There are no two ways about it, but always be very, very sure about your why. Now, which will bring me to what could have been my why. जब मैं 7-8 साल की थी, हम लोग यूपी में रहते थे, and there was a dairy in my neighborhood. So being the youngest in a family of 4 siblings, I was the mundu of the household. So my mother used to give me all the mundane tasks, like every evening I would be given the steel ka bucket with a handle. So that's me in the picture. And I would be, opening the back gate of her house, walking a few steps, and there we had the dairy. Out there in the dairy, actually 3 things I really observed. One, so there used to be these bulky animals, the cow and the buffalo, which in size did look very much larger bodied than the dog in my house. And then automatically I would think that how the dog in our house used to often roam around unchained. While the cows and the buffaloes, I observed that howsoever bulky they would stand up on the stall, on the floor of the dairy, and within a few minutes, again plonk down on the floor, only to get up the next moment. So, and as a child observing this from a very pure, unfiltered perspective, I was finding it a little strange. Then the second observation was thick syringes used to be kept right outside the milking cows and the milking buffaloes area. And Vijay, the dairy owner, would often come and stab the milking animals, only the lactating ones. The third name can be the mother cows, the mother buffaloes. So he would stab them, and then their instant reaction to the injection used to be they would start wincing in pain. It was only much later in my life, when I was an adult and I started becoming into that process of becoming a mother myself, that I realized that those injections used to be actually giving the experience of labor pains to that milking cow, that milking buffalo. So they were oxytocin injections, banned by the government of India, banned by the Supreme Court of India, but still they continue to be used even till now. And then the third observation related to these trucks which often used to come. So this truck would pull down outside the dairy, and these men used to get down. And the moment these men used to walk inside the dairy, somehow the animals could feel something and they would start getting jittery. And then the spent, are we all familiar with the meaning of the word spent? Spent is, technically speaking, financially unproductive animal. So the spent cows and buffaloes and only the male calves used to be forcibly taken out of the dairy by these men. Then later on I discovered that they were butchers. So no wonder these animals were kind of, wanting to avoid that whole scenario experience of getting sent to the butchery. It was much later in life, when I was in class 8, that I was able to watch a documentary. Right after coming from school, there was this television show on DD Metro which showed the dairy realities exactly from the perspective which I had been feeling as a child, but had not yet been able to relate. So finally I got convinced that whatever I have been thinking of, that dairy is not really kind of vegetarian in my opinion, because vegetarianism for me has always been about ahimsa. So I could see that clash, and I was no more comfortable with it. And I think that was the time when roots of Whitecub got laid down. So that was my why. So अब हम बात करेंगे कि entrepreneurship और business में क्या फर्क होता है. So दिल और दिमाग, ये दोनों ही चीजें जरूरत रहेंगी entrepreneurship में for certain. और business के लिए बोलते हैं कि अगर दिल लगा लिया तो business नहीं कर पाओगे. So business is always about purpose. You know, we straight away come to purpose. So I have many friends in the business owners community who are doing these, you know, these very important, say, infrastructure kind of things, or say, you know, regular things which they enter into for the sake of profits. So the first clear difference is, and they see business as व्यवसाय. Entrepreneurship एक व्यवसाय बहुत बाद में जाके बनता है. Passion and purpose stand for entrepreneurship. अगर आपके दिल में जज्बा है और अगर आपके मन में एक why आपका sorted है, क्यों करना चाहते हैं, क्यों और purpose relate हो गया, right? इसके बजाय purpose, only the purpose part, right? Then of course the third part is scalability issues. So in an entrepreneurship endeavor, especially the vegan entrepreneurship endeavor, scalability issues ought to arise. They will be there. While a business starts from scratch with ever expansion possibilities. Now the beauty of all this, you may wonder that agar entrepreneurship mein profit dikh hi nahi raha hai, so the very important critical word which also starts with P, and it's relatable to the second point, passion and purpose, is the word profit. So profit धंधे में चाहिए होता है, profit entrepreneurship में भी होना चाहिए, but profit को दिमाग में रखते हुए आप entrepreneurship शुरू करेंगे तो शायद आप ना भी शुरू कर पाएं. So time थोड़ा लगेगा उसमें. So there was no existence of markets when we started. We started in the year 2013 officially. Unofficially, we had started around 2012. So then what would we have done? We created the market. So we used to be doing a lot of potlucks, a lot of participation in regular market events, a lot of participation where all the so-called mainstream, by mainstream I mean the non-vegan entities, used to be there. So if I would spot, say, like a Quality Walls or like a Have More, like a Haagen-Dazs ice cream, any of these at say like a food hall or Godrej Nature's Basket, so fine. So what shall it take on our part to be placed right there next to a Haagen-Dazs ice cream tub or next to a Have More ice cream tub? So going all out to create the market rather than feeling daunted about market ही नहीं है अभी तो. सभी लोग सोचेंगे ऐसा कि market ही नहीं है अभी तो बनेगा कैसे market? And today we have Whitecub parlors. So it's all about persistence and perseverantly, pursuing your single-minded focus, your one thing in life. And then whosoever feels here that India will not be becoming finally fully vegan, or say world will not be going fully vegan, are the same people who feel that a mountain cannot be moved. But how many of you have seen the movie Manji? Manji was a person from Bihar जिसने पहाड़ को single handedly काट के तोड़ के उसमें से सड़क निकाल दी पूरी. So if Manji can do it, so can you.